Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight, so you don't have to. Uh, this is a little bit later than I wanted it to be. I wanted to get this done a couple days ago, but didn't really have a didn't happen. But we're doing it now. So basically, one day, somebody by the name of Allo, who runs a podcast about Dead by Daylight, he woke up and he said, "You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna be the truth. Okay, I'm just gonna go up and just say what needs to be said. Okay, I'm glad he did that. Glad he did that. I don't know how this doesn't have more views. It's almost at 300 right now. It's getting there. But I don't know how this hasn't been passed and shared around like crazy. This video is literally perfect. So basically, for like, this is all in response to some the dumb shit, the drama between the Deads and Dowsy. Our content creators are so bad. Dead by Daylight has the absolute worst fucking content creators out of any community I've ever seen. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Smash, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, football, all the Lovecraft, even all these content creators from the communities that I know and understand, they're just so much better. I don't know how Dead by Daylight is just so bad. I have a theory about why it's bad. I have a theory because it doesn't make sense. I don't understand how our game is so bad while everyone else's are so good. I just don't get it. But I think I have a hint. I think I have a reasonable claim to make about why that is, because we don't have a competitive scene. I think that's really what it is. In all these other games, video games, not that this doesn't video games, car games. I'm not counting football because obviously, if you are making content about football, you're probably not playing it. But in these other games, the competitive scene and people that know and have knowledge about the competitive scene are the ones that are the top content creators. Like in Mortal Kombat, Sonic Fox is one of the top content creators. In Smash, Hungrybox is the top content creator. Like like in these other games, DZ, he goes to tournaments. I don't know if he's like top. I don't know who the top Yu-Gi-Oh players are, but like everyone, just even Pokemon, the Full Swipe Gaming, who's just got more knowledge on the competitive scene than anyone I've ever heard of in my life. There's that new guy that's rising up in the Pokemon world. I forget his name. He's like trying to get to 1 million subscribers with nothing but the competitive Pokemon mindsets. That's his goal. So it's all about that competitive scene. Since we don't have a competitive scene, it leads like bullshit to come in and kind of infiltrate the world of our top content creators. Okay, I think that's really what it is. Without an accurate way to see MMR, without any tournaments, like we I don't really know how to explain this. This is still all new, but they have a certain power over us because we can't tell them they're bad. I guess because no, if we tell them they're bad, there's no way to actually prove it. I guess because you see them winning and it's like, well, I mean, I win too. You win too. It's like, but there's not really grounds to call them bad because you don't really even know. So you can't phase out their bad takes. If we had a competitive scene, Scott Jum would not be relevant, for example. Because nobody would listen to him if we had a competitive scene. That's kind of what I mean. But basically, back to the actual topic here. That's my main argument, that we don't have. If we had a competitive scene, we'd have better content creators. But back to this Dowsy shit with the devs. Basically, when Patrick was decimating everybody in the Q&A and destroying every anti-MMR argument that has ever existed, okay, when he was busy doing that, he was making a lot of people butthurt in the process, okay? One of those people that was butthurt was Dowsy, okay? And Dowsy just had this really dumb tweet. It was such a stupid tweet. That's why I love that all this drama is about this tweet. His tweet was stupid. Why is nobody talking about how bad it is? It was such a dumb fucking tweet. Okay, he was misquoting Patrick. He said, if you loop the killer 5 gens and then don't win, was it really a skilled play? And again, that couldn't happen unless you're either the sacrifice, which team-based MMR, we know. I will keep repeating that, we know. Or your teammates are legitimately not doing anything. And don't give me they're hiding and they're only interacting with gens. No, if you're looping the killer for like what 6 minutes across the whole map and they're not getting the gens done, they're not doing anything. Okay, so Dowsey tweeted that out, which was just so fucking dumb. It was so stupid. Basically, it was one of those quote unquote arguments that is actually just straight up dodging Patrick's real argument, which was Patrick's core argument that he was referencing there was the fact that like skilled plays lead to wins, and if your play wasn't skilled, it wasn't really skilled at all. I like the most obvious thing this could apply to would be going to get 8 hooks instead of being efficient. Like if you like hooking the survivors 8 times and then they all get out. Like clearly you could have changed your mindset and done something more efficient that would have maybe helped you kill a survivor earlier. So like that's what I mean. In the context of the win condition, people are doing quote unquote skilled plays because they want the game to be something that's not, and then like because that's what's kind of happening here. Patrick's argument applies to like a lot of situations in this game. Okay, that you are not entitled to free rewards just because you like existed and you did something. Okay, that's what these people want. That's what they're advocating for. They want a system that you can rank up on by losing. Okay, performance rewards should not be a viable option to rank up. That was the problem with the previous system. The fact that performance rewards were pushing people to rank 1. Okay. That's what the issue was. I want performance rewards to be implemented into the MMR system. I think that's a decent idea, but it can't be viable to get to high MMR purely on performance rewards alone. You have to win. So, ignoring all this, let's start to getting to the actual stuff. So after that dumb tweet by Dowsey, he was mocking Patrick. Okay, the devs took his fucking Twitch shirt away. All right, they took his shit away from him. They took free shit away that they gave him. That he probably wasn't using anyway, and they took it from him. And now he's crying about it on Twitter, and everyone's like, "Oh, the devs are so petty." Like, imagine being so petty that you're gonna fucking bitch that they took away a fucking dumb shirt. Like, you're petty, Dowsey. Jesus. Like, that's such a dumb thing to like rally the community over. And it's working too. I'm sure it's working because anything to distract you from the fact that the anti-MMR arguments are actually really bad. Like anything to distract you from that. They can't win the debate. This is the same thing Scott Jund did when he was debating True. If I can't win, I'm just gonna change the subject because that's what they're doing. We're not winning, so let's change the subject. And go ha ha ha. Devs are evil tyrants. They censor me. They don't. I saw that on social media. Somebody was claiming they were censoring him. Like completely ridiculous. Like. Ugh, okay. So, basically, Jay, rightfully frustrated that Dowsey's a piece of crap, he made this video. And just, let's go along for the ride.
Alright, and good morning, good afternoon, or evening to you all. So, I've been gone a while, and I'm going to explain why I've been missing, but more importantly, I'm going to explain why I'm getting so annoyed at the whole community, including some of the bigger content creators kicking around. So, stay tuned.
Jay's intro.
Alright guys, so it's been a while since I've uploaded. It's been around the 9th of December since I last played the game. I went home for Christmas, just haven't had much chance to play when I got back, but quite frankly, spending time out from the game made me watch more streamers, more content creators, and read more tweets for what it was worth.
Why'd you read tweets,
comes the part
Jay?
that annoys me the most is that most of these content creators are completely to blame for the toxic community that is now in Dead by Daylight.
They formulate it. They formulate it. That's the problem. They actively formulate this kind of hive mind mentality. This is the thing I was talking about on the podcast, and Scott Jund actively said that his community was not a hive mind. He got really offended by that comment. Like he defended his fan base to like that was like the most passion that he had on that podcast was when he was defending his fan base from the idea that they are a hive mind, but they are. And the fact that Scott Jund's fans were toxic enough to go to True's fucking stream and harass him like the entire day, like these content creators, they formulate it. They want it to exist. I don't know why. Even Otz's community is really bad. Even though he's quote unquote wholesome, I think he's fake and passive aggressive myself. But And then, like, again, through the complaining about the MMR, all they want to do is bitch, 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 and bitch. Like, and people say, like, wow, Rosie, you bitch a lot. I mean, who's been sticking up for this game more than anybody lately? I'll ask you that question. I have acknowledged that we need to give the devs credit when they do the right thing. And that's another thing this community doesn't want to do. They don't want to acknowledge when the devs do something right. Like, I'll bitch, but when they do something right, you have to accommodate that, or you're just bitching. You know what I mean? You have to, if you're going to bitch, you have to learn how to do it correctly. And a lot of these people don't know how to do it correctly, and it just comes off as a bunch of buzzing, as a bunch of cicadas in a tree going that's what it is.
Yes, that's right. I'm looking at content creators that mostly seem to adore and just recite word for word their
Jay Strixer's
absolute
pretty good.
BS that they keep passing around. Now, this is going to make me unpopular. In fact, I'm going to await here comments. You're a behaviour shill. You're bootlicking behaviour. Comments if this video is viewed, because I haven't uploaded for a while. Maybe it won't get any views. But anyone that speaks out of line is harassed and belittled by these bigger content
Correct.
creators. But hear me
And
out,
their
guys.
fan bases. If you attack a mainstream content creator, you will get attacked by them and their fans. It's just what happens. I know better than anybody. It's just what they do. And the problem is that they can like provide you with the bit, like, they can really misidentify your points. This is something that's particularly dangerous. Since they have high platforms, people are just going to take their word for it. Like, when Otz completely focused on the wrong parts of my argument, when he was, like, busy, like, quote unquote wrecking me and destroying me, like, when he was busy not even addressing the matchmaking, he wanted to focus on the himself and be like, oh, my streaks, bro, you're questioning the integrity of my streaks. I'll go do one. Like, he was completely missing the actual point. Like, no one actually knew what my point was, because except the only person who, like, knew that what I said wasn't wrong was Tide Time, if anybody remembers that. This is all back in the day when I was saying about the hooks versus kills video, a video which has aged like fucking just blah. But yeah, so, like, they can completely just misidentify a point against their position for their videos, okay? And then their community's just gonna fucking believe them. You know what I mean? They don't really debate right. They don't really make any efforts to go and find the positions of the people they are against. And that's another problem that they actually have.
And all I ask is people just make their minds up on things, and please, please, please don't just listen to your favourite content creator and the constant moans and groans.
Yes.
Make an informed decision. Just because the bigger content creators think the game is too difficult for them, ask yourself these questions. Are they actually good? Are they looking at this logically? Or are they simply butthurt over something? I mean, how
Are they actually good? That ties it back to the point that I was making earlier about, like, are they actually even fucking good? We don't know. We don't know who's good and who's not. We don't know how good these people actually are. Like, one True wants the MMR system shut off because it's too hard and it's too accurate. And Otz is saying it doesn't even work with his 30-second AFK bullshit. Like, and that notion kind of makes you, like, wonder. Like, it really makes you wonder, is True just at high MMR and Otz is at low MMR? Is Otz deranking off stream? Like, these are all valid. That's a valid point. There's another point where it's like, is Otz, like, with those fucking things, is that any point of the consistency of the system? Is True at, like, mid MMR? And, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, there's a lot. There's a lot that kind of goes into it, and, like, are you even good is a question that this is one of those things that we need that MMR data. Apparently, data miners can, like, see it. If some hackers can see it, they found a way to actually get in and look at it. But, like, I think we need to fucking see it because of that idea I said at the beginning, where if somebody isn't good, we can phase their bad takes out of relevancy. And I think that's very important.
listening to negativity do you have to take? And then generally people must say, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying watching so and so. His or her constant moaning and negativity really makes me want to subscribe to them. It's bizarre, but each to their own, guys.
Now, that's the way that I built my channel a little bit. Not that my channel is anything special, but, like, I will say that, like, you know, first of all, to each their own, and number two, like, this is a game that is designed to be frustrating. So, like, I mean, I'm okay with, like, bitching. Okay, like I mean, of course, I kind of have to be. I'm kind of its poster boy. Like, I'm definitely okay with channels that are designed around bitching about the game. Okay, I just think that like people's bitching right now in the community is being done wrong because like they want to bitch because of the bad matchmaking, quote unquote, and they think that's the reason like the game isn't fun. Okay, that's all of the attacks are going at the MMR system, when in reality, the attacks need to be leveled at the game itself. We need to talk about ways to improve the game. Okay, this is why the MMR system needed to even show up in the first place, because finally we're talking about what needs to happen in the game. Finally. When the ranking system was here, this wasn't even a fucking conversation. The problem now with the conversation is like there is a conversation happening, it's just being attacked. The wrong thing is being attacked. The MMR definitely flipped this game on its head. If somebody says it didn't do anything, there is just too many instances of people losing their minds over it for it not to have done something. Like, I don't believe Otts and Scott when they say it's the same as it was before. No, it's not. Number one, I've played it. I can tell you it's definitely not. And then number two, the reactions across the community are nowhere near what they were before in the previous system. Okay? Like, you can tell because of the amount of people have completely lost their fucking minds. So you know something's different. You know something's different. Something feels different. But, like, the hatred that MMR is getting is because it's exposing all these bad parts of the game. Okay? So I think people need to just be smarter about what they're attacking. We need to go after the balance. Okay? Which is something I've been saying for a long, long fucking time. I've been saying it for such a long time. I'm like a broken fucking record. Okay? Now, so like, I'm completely fine with people bitching about the game. And they're obviously, especially in this community, there is a niche for that type of content. The rise of people like Space Coconut and Terrico and you know, True Talent does as well. There is a desire to see the game bitched about because we know it's not good. Okay? But, so it's like, it's not even that bothers me. It's just that, like, right now, they're whining. Like, that's what's going on. They're whining. Like, they're not looking at it from a productive standpoint. They are just going, wah, wah, wah. Daddy put MMR in the game. Wah, wah, wah. Why MMR bad? Wah, wah, wah. Patrick, why you do this to me, Patrick? Like, they're just, that's what it all is. They're not actually, like, even back when I was bitching that we needed the MMR system in the game, I always, like, the pro MMR always had the foundation of this is what is going to be best for the game's long-term health, okay? And that's what the overall argument is. People are just, again, we had arguments, we had facts, we knew what we were talking about. That's why we won the fight. That's why it's here. That's why we won. Okay? But the majority just go, wah, 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 the game is bad. What do you want to do about it, dude?
We had one content creator the other day start yet more drama and sniping of Behaviour because Behaviour removed his Twitch shirt. The uproar that this has now caused in the community. Okay, but what has happened to rational thinking, guys?
Nah,
Speaking on
it's
Twitter
dead.
myself, I have sat there and said, okay, I must try to understand their point of view. This is of the content creators, and I just can't, guys. I really can't sympathise with the negative Nellies at all, and I will explain why. This content creator will
I can't sympathize with the fact because they have fucking 500,000 subscribers. Cry me a fucking river, Dowsy. Like, that's why I can't sympathize with you. And that you're wrong. And you whine, and you have no fucking, you don't know what you want, you just know you want MMR gone. That's another thing I can't stand. When people don't even know what they want, they just want MMR gone. When fucking Scott's like, oh, we can't fix MMR, it's going to be permanently bad. And then he doesn't even want it, like, he doesn't even try to offer anything that's tangible about what we can do to fix it. He just wants to, I guess, go back to the ranking system. I don't know what the fuck he wants. That's the problem. All they know is that MMR bad. That's all they know. And so they will just bitch with no offering of solutions. For example, oh, you don't like the fact that it's not team-based. Well, let's make it team-based. Then what? Can we keep MMR then? MMR bad, wah, wah, wah. And then you get hit with all the meta. Oh, it's the meta's fault. It's the meta's fault we can't have MMR because the meta's boring. Maybe Dead by Daylight is fucking boring. Have you ever thought of that? Maybe the game is boring. That's why the meta is there. Maybe the meta can't see any experimentation because if killers don't bring 4 fucking slowdown perks, they're dead. Have you ever thought of that? Why would the survivors not run dead hard? Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's why we have a stale meta. It's not MMR, it's that the meta is staler than your fucking bread that's behind the fucking fridge for 3 months. Okay? Like, that's the problem. You need to, like, advocate for solutions. That's what we need to do.
Around and say behaviour can't take constructive criticism. That's their trump card. But hang on, this has been going on for a while. Constant swipes on Twitter, constant negative videos, memes, whatever. This isn't someone giving feedback, guys. This is someone not getting their own way. These content creators don't realise that there is life beyond them. I'm a consumer. Why doesn't my thoughts count?
Yeah.
I've put enough money into this game to have a vested interest. Why should the bigger content creators decide for me what works and what doesn't? You mean the whole game should be designed around how they feel and think a game should be? Sounds to me that these content creators are in the wrong field. They sound like they should be game designers, yeah? Right? Now, breaking news, guys.
Now, he did say in his video, in somewhere in the comments section, that he was not thinking about Scott Jun when he made this, but that definitely applies to Scott Jun and Otts and True and just in everybody. Okay, it's not. It takes a design shot. No one's actually analyzing what's there. Like, people want this game to be, killer hooks me, runs away, my teammate gets a free unhook and a free heal, and then I get to loot the killer because I deserve counterplay all the time. I deserve counterplay to every killer's power. The artist can't. If I have crows on me and I hit another one, that can't injure me. That's OP. Pyramid Head can't cancel his reactable attack because that's not fair. I don't have counterplay. Spirit's obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want this game to be designed a very, very, very specific way, and that way does not favor the killer whatsoever. The killer just doesn't matter, okay? They're letting the ideas of fun go in the way of the design. The problem with this game is that the pitch intent is meta right now, large in part to the bad balance, and that it's what killers really have to do right now. And fixing that's not simple. Because this is what has been happening for a long time. You come into the community, people will tell you camping is bad. Like, that's what they'll tell you. Then if you actually get good, you realize camping was underrated in the ranking system. That's what I was said before. Camping is underrated. And then MMR came out and exposed the fact that camping is not only good, but it's meta. You have to do it. So, like, it's just like. And this wouldn't have been a problem if you had listened before to the people that were talking about how bad the game actually is, and not plugging your ears to it. Okay? Like,
Said content creator acts like a jerk for a sustained period and has a consequence. It's not exactly breaking news, is it? If you are given something for free to represent a company, then you have to hold certain values.
Yes.
Let me give you an example. You get
Welcome
sponsors.
to the world.
Sponsors like, okay, we will give you a product to promote. You have to hold certain standards. That person doesn't hold them standards. Said company would be like, okay, we don't want you to represent. This person doesn't hold those values. He treats the devs like absolute shite. His viewers he treats with contempt. If you're going to VHS or whatever the next game is, then great. But here's the thing, guys, that a lot of these content creators don't want to just be honest with you and say things like, I need Dead by Daylight because of the views and the income. If we were honest with you, then
Big
fine.
facts.
Even I would be like, now you've joined the millions of people around the world that maybe don't enjoy the job, but hey, we have to make a living.
Big facts
but no,
right there.
Instead, they act like entitled crybabies. They think the whole world owes them a favour.
And they think the devs owe them a favor. They think the devs owe them a favor. They think their voice is better than your voice because they have more subscribers. Even if that's all subconscious stuff, even if that is all subconscious, that is a mentality that they do have. 100%. Like, they really, really have that mentality.
Would be shocked if I found out these people have ever had a real job, because guess what, guys? You represent a company, then you have to show.
The notion of, like, consequences for what you for the notion of having consequences is just something that people just don't get. Like, Yes, if the behavior doesn't owe you that fucking skin. They don't owe you that. If you're gonna talk shit, they can take it. This is very very basic. Like literally, I had a growing analogy in my Discord server on this. I call Patrick Dead by Daylight's dad. That's what he is. He's the dad of Dead by Daylight because he disciplined the community when he did that. Like Patrick in the Q&A disciplined the community. Dowsey literally threw a tantrum and then Patrick took his toys away. Like that's literally what fucking happened, dude. Patrick took Dowsey's toys away because Dowsey was being bad. Dowsey was being bad. Dowsey got his toy taken away. This is very fucking basic. This is very, very basic shit. Kind of like how when Almo was talking about the colorblind shit, and then we haven't fucking seen him since. You remember this shit? Like, freedom of speech is important, yes, but there are consequences to it. The difference between me and Dowsey is that I may criticize the devs, but I'm also not running around with fucking free shit from them that they don't have to let me keep. If the devs took my skins away that they gave to me for free, fine. No one was calling the devs tyrants when they took True Talent's Fog Whisperer status away. No one was fucking crying then. There was no uproar on Twitter then. So why is it when Dowsey loses his fucking Twitch shirt, there's a huge fucking uproar? It's because of hypocrisy. Hypocrisy and like riling up the crowd, bro. He's just riling everybody up for no reason.
Certain values. If you don't want to and want to just criticise, then fine, do so. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. The saying goes that we live in a free world, but what you mustn't do is start bloody crying at the consequences. The big content creators will be like, oh well, I'm self-employed. I'm not employed by behaviour. They don't pay me. I can say what I want. Well, tough guys, you are right, but also in that sense, then behaviour doesn't have to keep giving you free stuff. They've literally took away the free stuff they gave you for representing them. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Yes.
The issue isn't criticism. The issue is that you are constantly shit-talking, and frankly, this content creator not just shit-talks, but he's one of the biggest hypocrites I have seen in my life.
Yeah.
He does encourage mob mentality, and the majority of the bigger content creators do this too. Now, they will disagree and be like,
they
no,
will.
we don't.
They will hard disagree. They will not only hard disagree, but they will call you crazy for even in saying that. They will get very offended at that notion, as Scott and John did when I discussed the hive mind mentality. This 100% happens. It happens. It happens and it's bad.
But look at the Twitters. How many times do they post someone disagreeing with them?
Yes.
What do they think is going to happen?
Scott Junn literally posted on Twitter the other day, look at this actual comment from somebody. And it was like, I forget. The comment wasn't, I don't even remember what it said. But like, they do that.
When they do that, and then they act all shocked. Oh my God, can't believe my community went and attacked.
Surprise Pikachu face.
Sure, it's a shock to you. You're either a moron or plain dumb.
Yes.
You know fine well that putting that person's name from your video or Twitter is going to rally the mob mentality. But this
yes, absolutely.
It isn't, like I said, sadly he's not the only one that does that. Go check out some of their Twitter posts in the past and tell me that this doesn't happen. Don't come back to me and say, oh, they said they didn't know it would happen, or the people that retaliated don't represent your community, because that's exactly what they wanted to happen. I have seen certain content creators antagonise a number of people. Depending on the backlash, they'll quickly change their opinion to get a public backing. That I don't like either.
Yes.
I can delve into the hypocrisy more, for example. What about the complete outrage about NFT?
I know a place you can do that. The Rosie1990X YouTube channel, Jay Allo. When we doing that interview, dude?
Oh no, NFTs are destroying the planet. However, hang on, some of these bigger content creators are happily outraged on Twitter or posting videos on YouTube about NFTs. Think about it, guys. Let's look at how many are quick to let the Twitter followers know about the travels abroad. Oh yeah, you really care about environment so much, you just getting on a plane, increasing your carbon footprint. Yeah, I see that now. Now, NFTs aren't great, and they are a dumb idea. However, you guys have literally jumped on the bandwagon like a load of other zombies because, yes, it's an opportunity to bash your devs. Why bash your devs? Because the more people you can convince the game is bad, the more you can throw your toys out the pram, and then, hey presto, you can then take your audience with you. To be honest, it's just another waste of time.
Yeah, I didn't even make a video on the NFTs. I didn't even make a video on that shit. Like, fuck that. Like, it's just, like, it was a chance. It was a chance to not only bash the devs, but a chance to fucking. It's a chance to fucking take the conversation away from the game and how bad your arguments are about the game. That's what that was. It was just a distraction from the actual game issues. An opportunity to bash the devs again. We don't like MMR, so anything that happens, we're gonna bash the devs. Like that's all that was. It was just a distraction from the game and your arguments. It was a chance for Scott Junn to be right about this, so you can listen to him about the next thing. That's all that fucking was. Like he just said, all that was is just to like make people agree with you. Like I'm not gonna take the low hanging fruit and attack the devs over NFTs. Like who the fuck? Everyone's doing that. I don't want to be someone who just makes a video on NFTs. And also, you know what? You also want to know what? You don't, I barely know what an NFT is. So I'm not even going to make a good video on NFTs anyway, because I'm not the most knowledgeable about them. So like, why should I make a 6-minute video bashing the devs on something I know hardly anything about and am not exactly qualified to talk about it? You know what I'm talking about? And I'm sure those people were the same fucking way when they just made a video bashing the devs about the NFTs. I'm sure they barely knew what an NFT was too. I'm sure they fucking just started Googling it like 2 days before they made the video. Stupid.
Speaking about this, because some of the zombies will be like, yeah, he is right, she is right, yeah, behaviour are the antichrist of the gaming world. I have seen people on Twitter saying this content creator is being censored now about the Twitch sagas.
Yeah, I saw it too,
Behaviour
dude.
hate criticism, they hate people telling them the truth. No, he hasn't been censored.
No,
he has had
not at all.
Twitch shirts removed. Is he still in the game? Yes. Is he still producing videos? Yes, of course. So take your censorship talks and get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the part that
They're not censoring anybody. The devs have never censored anybody. It was something that I was worried about. Like I was worried. I kind of still am worried that they might go in that direction kind of eventually. Because I remember when Space Coconut was getting banned and all that fucking shit. Like I was worried that they would take a censorship approach. Like Space Coconut never got any free shit from the devs. Like he didn't care. Like, you know what I mean? I was worried they were gonna go that direction back when he was kind of having some problems with the devs, but they don't seem to have done that yet. And you know what? If I may speak for a second, I'm still here. I'm still making videos that criticize them too. The devs have never like shut down their criticism. Like they always listen to their criticism. They don't like implement it very well either. I mean, I never said that. Like we don't listen. They don't listen to us. They don't listen to us. They don't listen to us. They are not the best at listening to us. But I think eventually stuff does get done. Object was nerfed. DS got nerfed. Dead Hard's next. Thanks MMR. Character reworks are happening, right? Like I'm not gonna sit here and say they're the best. They're not. They're not even good. Like they're just kind of average. Maybe even slightly below average, with the exception of Patrick, who brings them up the entire tier. Like they're not very good. But like when they do something right, you gotta tell them they're doing something right. That's why I've been defending them. Go back on my videos. I've been defending the devs more than I ever thought I would, because they started making right decisions. And like this era is like the best they've ever been since I've been playing. The devs right now are the best they've ever been, and that is a 100% fact.
I seen a post this morning saying 2 more big content creators aren't playing DBD anymore because of this. Guess what, guys? I could have told you who the same content creators were without even delving to find their names. Yes, this is 2 content creators that have cried like babies about a game too. And you know what? I can
one is
show you
I
2
forget who the
videos
other
from
one
the
is.
said content creators on their channel still up there saying they were done with DBD a while ago.
Yeah.
It's tiring. Oh no, this content creator isn't playing DBD again.
That's another thing. That's another thing that I know people like me haven't done or true. We've never threatened to quit because we're here for a reason. Okay? Like people that actually like this game, like I'll sit here and make a video for 2 hours bitching about the game, but I don't want to quit. I will never like say, "Oh, I'm gonna stop playing if they do that. I'm just not gonna play anymore." Huh. I'm just not playing. I play Dead by Daylight so you don't have to, bro. Like I will never quit the game. I might take breaks, I might go on hiatuses, but I will never quit, and I will never make a video about me quitting. Okay? even like quitting Smash was like one of the hardest things I've ever done. For real, it's hard to quit games, especially ones you like. So, like if people are just threatening to quit every 2 fucking weeks, they don't actually like the game.
Friends, is called riding on public opinions. Unfortunately, there are people who don't like the game. Rather than just put down the game and do something else with their lives, they need this confirmation bias from bigger content creators, and it's like a vicious circle. They want to confirm that the game is dying. They want to confirm the game is shit. The game's horrific. No one should play this game. And these guys, you will see posting on every video as well from the some content creators, the same names, the same personnel, just reporting the same tiring stuff. Like I said, guys, the content creators aren't being honest with you. They want to leave the game because not every game goes their way, and they feel that behavior should be listening to their direction. I mean, does that not even sound entitled to you?
That's
Let
very
me tell
entitled.
you now, I know a lot of these bigger content creators have a history of it across other gaming communities. This is not their first time crying and spitting the dummies out, guys, so don't be fooled by the persona. Have you seen when the guys try to leave? Yes, the views drop. They're
Yes,
straight back
significantly.
on DBD.
Now, that was another point that I made a while ago about content creators. That like Scott Jum was like, oh, if you do this, if you put MMR in, some content creators are gonna quit. I don't care, dude. The game does not need you. The game has taken a dip in player base. Yes, it has, because I knew that if you put a system of matchmaking that's relatively decent, the game takes a hit in the player base because it's bad. Okay, but we're still doing okay. 40,000 players still roughly on the Steam charts. The hit wasn't even as big as I thought it was going to be. The hit was actually the drop in the player base was actually smaller than I thought it was going to be, and I don't think the devs need to even panic about that. When the old guard quits, the new guard will come in.
Like, I'm going to complain about every aspect of this game. What these guys do is leech off the viewership. They look at who is listening, who is conforming to their bias
absolutely.
shown towards them by the public, and then run this whole persona. Trust me, guys, I can see straight through these content creators.
Yeah.
If you want to grow in this community, unfortunately, you need to critique the game constantly and just generally shit on the devs. So I do admire the people who have grown without a need for this, because they are the content creators that have built a platform on who they are. Let me tell you this, guys. What if I told you that the haters are usually a minority?
Yes.
However, when people hate something, they will usually be the loudest. They will generally be people who we only hear of in the community. I compare the negative Nellies to anti-vaxxers. They're a minority as well, yet we still hear from them every day.
Yeah.
Fix a game. Devs haven't got time to do this, but can remove a share. As if the whole company took time off to remove a free t-shirt from a content creator's account. Rational thinking seems to just be thrown out a window, guys, when it comes to DBD. Let's take Otdava's challenge. He proves, through using a method and a strategy and with hard facts, that Killer isn't as hard as what some people lead you to believe. And what do we see in the comments? Things like, oh, he has to say that he's a behaviour shill. He has been deranking off stream. I mean, seriously?
That's not exactly a far-fetched idea. Like some people have you believe that if Otz plays for 12 hours and that he has to take 10 to D-rank. Because we don't know about the MMR system, we do not know how long it really takes for him to go in and D-rank. So, like, if it takes 2 hours to D-rank from where he was, like, to get back down to a low enough MMR, I also just straight up don't think he's at high MMR. I can't. I just can't see how he would be. Me personally, if that's really, I mean, streaks are possible, but I don't know. That's a touchy one on Otz. That's a touchy one. I did want to rewind it and kind of address a few more things, though. I was thinking about what to say.
I'm to do this, but can remove a share, as if the whole company took time off to remove a free t-shirt from a content creator's account. Rational thinking seems to just be thrown out a window, guys, when it comes to DBD. Let's take Otdava's challenge. He proves, through using a method and a strategy and with hard facts, that...
See, I still don't regard those streaks as, like, totally legitimate, because we still have the idea, the notion that the system, we don't know where he is in the system, we don't know about where he I just said that. We don't know where he is in the system. We don't know who he's going against. We don't know the MMR levels of who they're going against. We don't know what the MMRs need to be of the survivors to where Killer is unwinnable. This is a problem. This is all because we don't have the actual stats. If we had more information, maybe odds of streaks there could prove a bit more than they do. Right now, just because we don't have enough, I don't really see how they prove anything, especially when I kind of already acknowledged that they are possible, because the system isn't as accurate as it could possibly be quite yet. But I mean, the fact that they are still possible, he's getting them, but so like Killer is still semi-playable. I think this is where was smart of the devs to approach an MMR system from this direction, to where Killer is different, the meta's different, but it's still kind of, I don't want to say semi-playable, but like it's definitely more of a challenge than it was in the previous system. And you have to really be good to win now. It is challenging. It is. That is just a fact. The difference is it's not impossible yet. I think that is what Jay's trying to say here. I think that is a bit poorly worded, but I think I see what he's trying to say.
You believe. And what do we see in the comments? Things like, oh, he has to say that he's a behaviour shill. He has been deranking off stream. I mean, seriously? Honestly, this is becoming one of the most toxic communities I've ever come across, and this is definitely encouraged by some of the bigger content creators in this community. Do you not think it's entitled that certain big content creator wants the game to revolve around his playstyle and his playstyle
that's Scott John
only?
right there.
Will this content creator ever change his way? No, of course not. He's entitled. He doesn't believe he should. I mean, if in your head you are the greatest player ever, then why should you change? Us mere mortals should just throw ourselves on the hook to ensure he 4Ks every game. Then he will be happy. Do you not think it's entitled that certain content creators believe they have the moral high ground?
Yes.
They have the knowledge to have the game suited to the needs. And
again, that's all back to the beginning where we don't even know who's good. Like that's all. I think what's happening is here, some of these content creators are being exposed as being not actually very good, which is something that if we had a competitive scene, we would have already filtered them out a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
You tell them that they're wrong. Wow, no, their God complex kicks in. These guys need Dead by Daylight. These guys need validation in lives, and this validation comes from everyone going, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. Do I think they're bad people? No, I really don't. I think the majority are just very misguided and entitled and need to get out in the real world and just experience life. They don't see past their own hypocrisy, and boy, I can do a whole feature-length film on the hypocrisy by these guys, yet they'll always loiter around with people on a tailcoat to tell them what they want to hear. Don't be that guy or girl. Take ownership for your content creators. Ultimately, they are public figures, and don't accept the negativity, moans and groans. Hold them accountable and see what happens. This will really show you what these people think of you.
Yeah.
They'll block you. They'll call you out on Twitter. Try to get people to come and harass you. Try to ensure that people are giving them the validation of their lives, telling them what they want to hear. Don't be that guy. Read into things, question things. Why would this content creator be constantly negative?
Think for yourself.
What are their motives? Listen, they will tell you they love the game and this is why they're critical, and compare it to a relationship. I mean, these guys must have never had a meaningful relationship. Go test it out yourself. Go tell your wife she looks fat. Go tell her you hate her cooking and see how much love she's going to feel from you. There is freedom of speech, of course, guys, and people generally hide behind this. But there isn't a freedom from consequences. If you want to have the freedom to be an arsehole, then take the consequences that comes with it. And this is what some of the misguided fools seem to forget. Meanwhile, for the rest of you guys and girls who have nothing but negative things to say about the game, let me ask you a question. Why are you watching videos about it? Why do you keep commenting about it? Why are you still loitering around like an ex that just can't accept things just didn't work out? I am genuinely curious.
What the fuck? That goes back to my video before. What the fuck are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here, guys? What are you doing here? You will I think you honestly can see who really loves the game more now because MMR is here. Like you really can, because now that we're doing the right thing, so many people are turning on the game and the devs. Everyone's all these content creators are turning on them. It's really crazy that now when they have to actually be good in order to do things in the game, there's so many people that are just so angry all the fucking time. They're so angry about that. I was angry before because it wasn't being done correctly. and it could have been done better. And then it did. And so, like, I'm still angry. I'm still the angriest killer, man. But, like, overall, the content on my channel, specifically, has very much evolved. It's very much evolved from, like MMR is my entire channel now. Sticking up for the devs is my entire channel now. Which is crazy to think about from the position I was in when Hex Ruin was nerfed. Okay? Like, it's not a black and white issue. Like, these content creators, nothing the devs do will ever be right for them. They will never do anything right. Like, people do, they make mistakes and they do the right things. If something is constantly going wrong 100% of the time, chances are you're not even looking at it correctly. That's what's going on right now. Every video that comes out from Scott Jun is shitting on the devs, shitting on this aspect of the game, shitting on that aspect of the game. Everyone is just, they want to shit on the game because they think MMR is the problem, when realistically we just need to be fixing the game. It's time to help the game get better. We've been talking about matchmaking for so long, and the fact that it's now no longer the biggest issue anymore. Like, it's time to actually make changes for the game itself. I think, and the content creators themselves are becoming a major distraction from that process. Like, it's time to move on and discuss the game. We need to fix the game now. The fact that they're making this all about themselves instead of about the game proves that they don't give a shit about the game. It was never about the game to them. It was always about them and their platform. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was always about them. It was never about the actual game. All of, my discussions have come from an idea of we need to fix the game. It's never about, like me as a person. I just want to fix the game. The only reason I play it up for theatrics is because I need to get views. I'm at 484 subs. If I didn't have to play it up for views, I wouldn't. But when you're a smaller creator, I think there's a distinction between smaller and bigger creators. Being a smaller creator, you have to do things to kind of get noticed. You have to. If you don't stand out, there's no reason to fucking watch you. You know what I mean? There's no reason to fucking watch you. If you just come on and go, oh, I'm just gonna be reacting to this little MMR video. I'm just gonna be doing a little reaction today. You know, if you come on and you're blander than tartar sauce, no one's gonna fucking care about you. Go back to, I'll make another point here. Go back to watch my older videos, okay? There's two eras on this channel. When pre-Ruin nerf and post-Ruin nerf, okay? Some of my older videos, ladies and gentlemen, were being framed from a kind of standpoint where, it was more in line with the other creators in this community. Okay? I'm trying to scroll. There's Dead by Daylight stuff. It was more just kind of uploading gameplay and maybe some brief comments on stuff, but mostly just kind of doing some games. 4 views, 3 views, 9 views. No one cares, dude. Nobody fucking cares. My first tier list ever, ladies and gentlemen, let's find it. You want to find my first tier list? My very, very first tier list got, here it is. 444 views for part 1, 212 views for part 2. Okay? That's what my very first one got. I didn't make a tier list now. My last tier list was, where's my last one? My last tier list got, oh my god, I gotta find it. Where is my tier list? 826. So that's what my last tier list got. Obviously, there's something different there. That my view count was increasing because I've started to do things to get me noticed a bit more in the community. Not that I'm noticed in the community. I'm definitely still kind of not. But I'm speaking from the perspective of a smaller creator. Okay? that I think that's kind of its own topic for a different video I can make about like being a small creator versus a bigger creator, because I think the strategies that you have to do are different for smaller creators. But the
Sound like a bad smell? Do you need some validation in your life too? Do you need the bigger content creators to tell you that you made the right decision in life? Very curious, because it seems that you sit there waiting for the moment something goes wrong and bang, you're onto it like a bad rash and sit around jerking off these big content creators who agree with your thoughts. That's it, guys. I'm getting out of here. I look forward to the messages telling me I'm a behaviour shill. I look forward to the messages
yeah.
from there.
So this is a very good video, obviously. Very, very good. The only point that was questionable was the Ots one, but that's about it. Very, very good to think about. I think Jay Allo kind of came off here as very, very good. I think he came off way better than me when I made mine attacking mainstream creators. I mean, I didn't think that video was gonna fucking blow up, but there you go, it fucking did. This one is the one that deserves to blow up, and I think that's an interesting point about that. Like, why does this video only have 300 views, but the one I made about tofu and ots got like, how much is that? How many views does that video have now? Let's check. I haven't checked that in a while. 3,500 has was my that's how many views mine has. Now I'm sure people made an effort to find it after Ots plugged it, but it was still at like 2,000 before Ots even fucking plugged it. Okay, so like that. See, like there's a clear way to get fucking noticed in this fucking community, and it's a hard balance to kind of have to find, I guess. But that's pretty much it. All of his attacks on the content creators were pretty much accurate, and the part where he is the most accurate is when he was talking about thinking for your fucking self. That is the absolute most important thing you can do in this community. That's the only way this cycle ends. More people have to stop taking the content creators as a fucking fact. As soon as that happens, it will get better. It just will. Alright, I think that's all I have to say on this. I'm getting the hell out of here. Maybe Jay will appear on the channel soon. Winky face. Alright, I'm getting the hell out of here.